find your way back home.
What's up YouTube, Camyo here, and welcome to what I hope will be able to be broadcasted to you guys as my theories on Pokemon Sun and Moon. I have previously made this video once before, and because of copyright claims, Nintendo or Pokemon or whoever, they have taken it down and blocked it twice now after I've tried to edit the video that I posted and do all kinds of things to try to make it to where I could have that video for you guys, because visually pictures just aren't enough, you know, sometimes they're just not enough. But anyway, we're gonna try this way. We're gonna try it with pictures, and hopefully I can get my point across to you guys vividly enough. So this is gonna be my theories on Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I'm gonna try to progressively get to the point with you guys. Like, I'm gonna try to start off with the smaller theories and get to the larger theories like typings and things like that. So that being said, everyone's 99% positive that customizable characters are coming back. This image right here tells you a lot. It gives you the biggest hint in the entire world that customizable characters are coming back. They could still not come back. This could be all we get. Who knows? Nothing is set in concrete. Nothing is set in stone. Customizable characters are a very good assumption for actually coming back. Now I wanted to cover this because Birdkeeper Toby, in his recent video, he said that he believes that the Tiki figures here represent a new Pokemon that may not yet be shown to us, or something of that sort, because most of the time the statues in the Pokemon world represent like Reshiram or Dialga or what so have you. They all the statues almost always represent a Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon, or a strong Pokemon, or some type of Pokemon. Well, I think he's right in the fact that these do represent a Pokemon. I don't necessarily think they represent as high of a level of Pokemon as Birdkeeper Toby might think. I personally think that these are simply Caterpie. Now, you can easily see that this could be taken as the regular type of Tiki man. It's got eyes, it's got a mouth, it's got rib cage looking things. But this is how I see it. I see it as a Caterpie, because you can see the antenna here, you can see the eyes here, you can see the snout area where the Caterpie has his little snout that he squirts his stuff. I mean, it's not a very good one, but I mean, that's what I see. I see the snout, the outline of his snout, and then I see his legs, his appendages. I see a Caterpie. Now, I know some of you are going to argue the fact and blah blah blah, but that's just what I see. I mean, I obviously see the regular Tiki man and so on and so forth as well, but I see if it is based off of a Pokemon, I personally see a Caterpie. Now, we all know, or we all assume, that this is going to be our mother figure. That is still a theory. That is still a theory that lots and lots of people have. This is more than likely our mother figure. It could not be, of course, but this is more than likely our mother figure of the game. Now, this guy, I'm pretty sure his name is Hala. My theory on this guy is that this could be this region's champion. Now, I say that knowing full well that this could just be a village elder, just some relative, blah blah blah, but I personally think that this man is this region's champion, much like Alder, the older gentleman Alder. He wasn't quite this old, but he was an older gentleman named Alder from the Black and White series. He kind of reminds me of Alder. I don't know why, but I'm assuming, I am throwing my theory out there that this guy could possibly be this region's champion. Now my next theory goes to Kukui. I hope I say that right. Kukui. Welcome to paradise, cousin. This is the Alola region. Okay, so this is obviously the Alola region. That is a fact. What is not a fact is who this character actually is. Now, it's very, very widely known that his name is Kukui, and a lot of people have stated that the Kukui is a nut that comes from a tree. So there is a Kukui tree, or Kukwai, however you may say his name. I'm going to say Kukui. But this gentleman is wearing a lab coat. He does some things in the Japanese trailer that are coming up, but he is wearing a lab coat. He's named after a tree. He's with you when you get your Pokemon. I mean, everything is screaming that this is 99.9% the professor. Now this image, this also could mean that he is the professor, because he is giving you a video call, or your character a video call, much like all the other professors will somehow contact you and let you know, like, to come get your Pokemon, this, that, whatever he may need to contact you for. So this right here, to me, is the extra 1% needed to say that this is the professor. But another thing that I really want to point out here, because I feel like he's deeper than just this region's professor. I could be completely wrong by this. I could be so wrong that you guys are more than welcome to bash me to heaven and back. But I really want to theorize, I really want to say that this character could be a type of stepdad that we have not had in a Pokemon game before. Because no Pokemon game ever has had a wedding ring on a character before. The Pokemon Professor, or Kukui, this character, has a wedding ring. He has not been seen in the trailer with any other female than the female that is designated to more than likely be our mom. This is obviously our house. The boxes behind us represent moving into a building. There is a Welmer pail, more than likely our mother's, who waters our flowers and things like that. So the professor is in our home, which has never happened before in a Pokemon game either. He is in our home with our assumed mother being right there. Now, I haven't found any images of her wearing a ring, but there could be out there. I don't know. That's just what I'm assuming. That's my theory on this Kukui character, is that he could be a type of stepdad to our character in the video game. Now, on to what you guys have been dying to get to. My thoughts on the starter Pokemon and their typing. Now, we all know, by this point, we all know that the starters are as followed by typing. Rowlet, the owl Pokemon, is grass and flying type. Now, I believe that Rowlet will retain his grass flying type, just like Bulbasaur in the original game retained his grass and poison type all through his evolutions. Now we all know that, or by this point most of us know, that Rowlet does get a new move called Leafage. That is something that is just a fact, that is not a theory. But where my theory comes in, or where my hopes I should say, at this point my theories are more hopes than actual theory. Because when it comes to the starter typings, I hope that Rowlet does retain his grass flying typing, but he gets some sort of fighting type moves like close combat or something of the sort. Just like Staraptor, the flying type Pokemon Staraptor got close combat to battle off other Pokemon and things like that. I'm not sure if any other bird type Pokemon, flying type Pokemon have gotten close combat before, but I know Staraptor does, and that definitely plays a factor when fighting with a flying type Pokemon, especially something like grass flying. That could definitely help out with its ice weakness that everyone is so scared about. Now going on to the next Pokemon, I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's safe to say that the Pokemon Litten is going to be Dark and Fire, or Fire and Dark, however you want to say it. Now it's definitely a possibility that they will retain what they almost always do, and they will give us another fire fighting type. That is definitely a possibility. There's no way that we can possibly rule that out until we see the final evolution. But everyone's assumption at this point, and it's a very good assumption, is that this Pokemon will be Fire and Dark type. Now I fully agree with that, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Because if Rowlet gets its fighting type move like close combat, it will have something to face Litten with. The other two are just I'm hoping for them, but this is what I hope for the most. I hope that Popplio, the water type starter, ends up being a water psychic type. Do you see the balance here? Granted that Popplio doesn't have anything that's crazy effective against Rowlet, if this is the case. He could still get something like Ice Beam because he is a water type. So the only reason why I honestly really want for Popplio to be a water psychic type move is because his the picture here where he is playing with bubbles that he can make with his snout. Now this is a circus type design for this Pokemon. He is a performer, so I definitely see this Pokemon evolving into something that can juggle. Now what I want to see is this Pokemon use its psychic powers to help it juggle bigger objects, bigger bubbles, bigger anything, just help it perform with its psychic abilities. I think that that's the way that if they don't go, they should have went with this Pokemon. So those are my typings for these three starters. Those are my theories, my hopes for these three starters, and I really hope that I'm not wrong about this. If anything else, this is the one thing that I really want more than any other theory that I possibly could come up with. This is the grade A theory that I want to come true. Now, I have a small theory when it comes to the typing of the legendaries. when it comes to the Sun legendary, I personally think that it will be a just plain Jane regular fire type Pokemon. Other people think that it may be electric type or steel type or fighting type or something. There are so many types that can go for both of these Pokemon, but no one knows for certain. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm going to say that it is a regular fire type Pokemon. Now, when it comes to the moon type Pokemon, it is more than likely dual typing. Now, because it flaps its wings and things like that, and the two instances that you see it in the trailers, it does look as if it's flying. Does make you want to say that it is a flying type. So, if that's the case, if it does have flying in its type, then I'm gonna go ahead and say that it should be poison and flying. Just for the simple fact that fire and gas create the stars above us. That is what the stars are created, and that is you see stars in their face, in the black portion of their masks. You see stars and shooting stars and things like that. So it's not per se the galaxies or something like that, but let's say that they get their power from stars, then that would definitely be something that I could see coming true, being a regular fire type and a poison flying type. But not just any poison flying type, of course, because we've seen poison flying types before and they're not like super great. They don't stand out all that much. But this is a legendary, so of course it would have like super boosted stats and things like that. So keep that in mind when thinking of that. Now, if the moon legendary does not have flying in its typing, I'm going to say that this legendary will be fairy and ghost at the same time. That is my typings for the Sun and Moon legendaries. I'm gonna say just dead on fire type for Sun, either poison and flying, or fairy and ghost for Moon. Those are my theories for that. And guys, the game comes out November 18th. November 18th. That is super, super close, you guys. I cannot wait. Hit that like button if you guys are super excited as well. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've said all my theories. If you guys like this video, leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys would like, you can definitely leave $1 in the tip jar. It's more than welcome. And have a great day. Peace out.